alchemy of good and bad? Are we the hunters or are we the bait? In an alchemy of good and bad, are we the hunters or are we the bait?
Thank you so much for making some time for us. So, how are you feeling about the way that the exclusive live stream was received by your fans?
Well, it's been like a year, I believe, or even
Yeah,
more since we actually had that exclusive live stream going
yeah.
on, which was only available for 8 days for people to watch and rewatch during this 8 days. The reaction and the feedback from our listeners and longtime fans was so awesome that together with everybody else that is on board, like the label and management, and everybody was definitely right away asking for this to be immortalized and have a physical copy of this.
All
So
right.
so that's what's happening.
I'm tooting. So I that kind of answers my next question with what moved you guys to produce that?
Yes, so far we never did anything similar because
Mhm.
um fortunately and unfortunately, these type of things do require a lot of time, energy, and finance, which often is not possible because bands are constantly on tour. And then when they are not on tour, they're working on their new material for the new album. So
Right.
it's constant work, even if you don't see the band out there in your specific country or in general on the road. That does
Mhm.
not mean that the band is not always constantly doing something, creating
Right.
something, putting something together. So even though we actually had this idea back when we were coming close to our 10-year anniversary,
Oh.
so we wanted to do something like that or similar, but as I said, it was impossible with the rhythm the band had at the time and the
Mhm.
plans the band had at the time. So we waited a little bit, and this insanity happened to the human race,
Okay.
and it forced us all to sit home. So we were like, okay, well, we are getting close to our 13th anniversary, so why don't we do it now? In fact, that's why the name The Devil's Dozen.
Is yeah.
So yeah, so that's why we decided to do something for our own mental health as well as everybody else's.
Right.
Also hoping that this show can bring some joy to people from countries that we never had the chance to visit yet for whatever reason.
Mhm.
So yeah, we were, I think, in a way also blessed with having enough time to dedicate to this project. So that's why we did it. That's how everything came together, and the idea behind it was just to um immortalize, I guess, a big era of the band, 13
Right.
years together. At the time we had 4 albums together,
Mhm.
um a lot of music, a lot of stories to tell. So we decided, why not do that, tell
Yeah.
the story, your songs, do your thing.
Right. I love that because not many bands would think that like the next step that they want to take is making it into like a live stream into just immortalized, like you said. I really like that word. Just not
Yeah,
many bands are like, well, I want to keep this one forever. And I
yeah.
think that's really
Well,
nice.
it's understandable. And I'm sorry for interrupting you. It's
Okay.
very understandable. As we speak, things change.
Mhm.
The technology changes. People do not care for physical albums as much as they used
Right.
to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or even we can even compare like people in Europe, they do love the physical. People in America, for example,
Yeah.
some do still love the physical, but they will much rather have everything digitalized, so
Yeah.
you can have it on your
All in
phone.
one space.
You know, some cars don't even have a CD thingy anymore.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I hate
So
that.
like my car doesn't, and it's not even, fancy, super fancy. But what I'm trying to say is it is understandable. And I understand all the bands that don't do it, and we were
Mhm.
all kind of part of it. And we were thinking in the same way, much rather give to people more digital material, music videos that you can have links to click, or,
Yeah.
subscriptions to make and stuff like that. But definitely some big milestone things, or steps in your life are
Right.
really nice to have immortalized. And I think
Yes.
that a lot of people agreed with us, and that's why it gave us that I guess that belief and that hope for, physical things matter as well
Yes.
sometimes.
Yes. I think it's
Yeah.
it's better for everybody. Like it's better for like for sales and for like just immortalizing the music and immortalizing the band and that milestone that they create.
Yeah, yes and no. As I mentioned, because of how not popular it is nowadays to buy
Mhm.
actual physical CDs, or, like only people that collect things keep them. Sometimes it doesn't even cover your costs for printing them. I swear, like the costs and everything nowadays is like insanely different than it used to be. Exactly. So that's why it's not as much the financial aspect of it, believe it or not, even though it makes sense that it should be, but it's
Yeah.
not as much as people think. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so to kind of like shift gears here, I see that you took some extreme vocal lessons from Melissa Cross. Is there one particular thing that stands out the most that you've learned from her?
Oh, everything that amazing human being gives me specifically, but I'm sure everybody can relate that ever tried to have a lesson with her. She's incredible. She definitely has insane amount of knowledge, but she also has a very unique way of approaching you as you, not applying the general rules of, okay, this works well for this vocalist, so it should work well for you.
Mhm.
Yes, some things are definitely more common for everybody. Like we all breathe, we all have the same organs and
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? But there are unique qualities of each musician and each person in general
Yeah.
that she definitely considers. And I feel like her help was not only technique wise, for in my case at least, she gave me insane amount of technique, insane amount of knowledge,
Okay.
but the most priceless thing she gave me is um believing in myself,
Oh,
and not being afraid to sound like me, and being me, like
right.
no matter what. That is very difficult to learn.
Right.
If you don't have it from scratch, obviously a lot of people do have a lot of confidence and a lot of self-love, but
Uh-huh.
some other people need to learn too. And when you don't have that extra help, it's more difficult. And
Right.
she definitely made me always feel like I am enough, and what I do matter, and how I do it is up to standards. And I can go on and on. When it comes to Melissa Cross, I adore her, and I started learning with her, from her, since 2013,
Mm.
and she definitely is incredible. Yeah.
Wow. So, like, I know this is it's still going on, the Melissa Cross. What like crossed your paths? Like, what had happened
Well,
that made your paths cross?
um, I guess I just got really lucky, because when I started singing, when I joined Infected Rain, I
Mm.
never sang before. So I was like a little toddler that doesn't really know how to walk, really, right? Especially in this new world of music. I never studied music, never sang before. I had a career that I was pursuing that I absolutely loved, and I thought I'm going to do this forever. I used to be a hair and makeup artist. And yeah, I know all of a sudden things change in life, and I wanted to try this. I had fun with the musicians that created this small little project that had no name at the time.
Mhm.
And I was just encouraged to see a teacher because they thought that there's definitely something that I could perfect. And there's definitely something there that I just have to learn how to use because they liked the way my voice was sounding, I guess. I don't know. And I was very stubborn, and I was like, I will go no matter where this is going, no matter how serious this project is. As I said, there was no name at the time, even. I'm talking about late 2007.
Oh my.
So yeah, I found a teacher in Moldova, where I was living at the time, where the band is from as well. This teacher was a classic vocal teacher in the University of Music in the capital of Moldova.
Mhm.
And she came highly recommended. I found her phone number, contacted her, and even though her opinion was that starting at that specific age, something so complex as music is very difficult.
Mhm.
She still did want to work with me. She did think that there's something that she can perfect, and I had like something to start with, I guess. And I worked with her for 3 years. Very serious. I was like super serious about it. So I would go like 2 to 3 times a week to see her and learn how to breathe, learn how to sing, learn how to improvise, learn how to hear the notes and the keys and recognize them. It was really fun. However, it was not enough, especially for the genre that I was in.
Mhm.
And also it was not enough for the insane conditions of touring that beginner bands do have. Even not only beginner bands, let's be honest about it, even big bands, super famous big superstars that that they all they do is they go on stage and everybody does things for them. It's not really like that. It doesn't matter how big or small or medium your fame is, whatever, there's still a lot of work. The touring is not easy. Being on the road is not easy. It's tiring. It tires your voice. You don't sleep enough. You don't eat proper. You don't have, your comfort zone. And there's so many things and ups and downs on travel itself that when
Mhm.
you finally go on stage, especially if you have some shows in a row, if you don't know what to do, or if you don't really have a specific routine, it's more hard. So that's how I started understanding that what I'm getting from my vocal teacher is not really enough. So I started researching online a lot to see what other vocalists in this genre do. And at the time, there was mainly only some stuff on YouTube, not much, I'm talking about way before Instagram was even a thing. But I did come across this vocal teacher that was coaching, and she would appear here and there with a lot of vocalists in the metal industry. So I looked her up and I found out that she has 2 DVDs at the time,
Oh.
that she is, yes, that you can learn certain techniques, certain, tricks for this industry. So I did purchase them, and I've studied the shit out of them.
Good.
It was like my
It paid
mantra.
off.
It was no day that I would like not at least open it to listen, at least, if not like actually try certain things. And so it became my dream and my goal to eventually, hopefully, meet her in person and talk to her about my specific band, my specific body, my specific voice, and so on, right? Eventually, it happened. I was visiting a friend in the United States in 2013. It was my very first trip to this country for pleasure only, small little vacation so cold. And I visited at the time three states, I believe, three states, correct. And one of the states was New York. I was actually visiting a musician that used to be in Infected Rain for like only the first two shows. He was our guitar player, and he moved to America eventually, so that's why he is not with us anymore. So I was visiting him, staying with him in New York City. So I tried my luck, and I contacted Melissa Cross to have a lesson, and she just so happened to have a availability, and that's how we met. And since that day, she is always there for me, no matter what I'm going through, no matter what I need to record, no matter what problems and challenges I find in a tour life or recording experience. So yeah, she even helped me now. Actually, I had surgery that I had to be quiet for a while because it was actually it was I had to remove my tonsils,
Oh,
which is very far from the vocal cords, but it's still in, you know, the
the same
proximities of
area.
the muscle of the neck, and the area is kind of getting swollen a little bit and stuff like that. So she helped me get back into my routine, get back to my voice, get back to my insane rhythm of recording and working with my vocals, and I owe her a lot for that.
Oh, oh, that's so cute. I love that so much. So
Yeah, it's
another,
the truth for sure.
it sure sounds like a definite blessing. Like you never saw it coming, and now she's just like always there for you. I really do love that.
Yes, she is, and I will be forever grateful.
And she's probably forever grateful for you too. Now she's like like you're probably like her star. Like everybody's like, "Oh, I want to go to you because I want to be her."
Well, I did have some situations where she did tell me that some of her students wanted to sound like me, which was very touching for sure. Yeah, that was very touching.
Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. Whew, I'm so
That's
fine.
okay.
You should be the one tearing up here, not me. Okay.
Well, I was when that
Oh.
happened. Trust me. Yeah.
So another lady that's pretty important, at least I think she's pretty important. So on your last album, Heidi Shepherd of Butcher Babies, of course, guested on The Realm of Chaos. What did it mean to have her on your album?
It meant a lot, mainly because we are good friends.
Right.
And I didn't see it coming right away. It wasn't something that we planned in advance. It was a sudden decision that while while the album was in its mastering step, I guess, or level, I guess, I don't know. After I recorded all the vocals and all the instruments are recorded and everything is put together, and when the producer of the album is working his magic, while that was happening, we were actually thinking with the musicians, everybody in the band, that it would have been awesome if we had a featuring. And we first thought about 3 different songs and then 2, and then I was like, listen, you know, like I could see if Heidi is down to record vocals, because for specifically this song, I can hear her voice here. Like I could hear it because especially since she moved to Las Vegas, she's way closer to me, literally closer physically and you know, emotionally, because we see each other a lot. And we have a lot in common for sure. She's a sweetheart, and she's a hard worker, and it was an honor to have her, specifically because she's my friend, but also I had a lot of fun recording her. I actually did record her myself. I have my own vocal studio in the house that I've built during the pandemic. So I had to kind of learn how to record myself when I record my ideas down. So I had the best teachers, my producer and my bandmates from the band. They all guided me and showed me and told me 1,000 times how to do it because I'm not that great at technology. Eventually I learned, and that definitely pays off in so much satisfaction when I do record myself, and especially when I did record my best friend, and it was like such a cool thing that I think bonded us even closer. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
I love that. Very, very heartfelt. I'm sure that she would say the same as well. I mean, it would probably be, yeah, probably just about the same.
We both love this song so much. In fact, last year we had the opportunity to play it together live twice. Yeah.
Hey, slap that one on the devil's dozen too. Oh my gosh. This
Yeah,
is
right.
so a fun one. In a universe where the sense of taste and hearing are mixed up together, what would you imagine Infected Rain's music to taste like?
Oh. Okay. I don't know. That's a good one. I mean, I think there's a lot of like bitter and sour for sure.
In a
There's
good
like
way.
some savory to it.
Yes.
I don't think there's any sweetness in there.
You don't need it.
Maybe one or two songs, maybe, but I don't think so. Mainly like something spicy and
Ooh,
sour, I would say. I don't know, something like that.
spicy and sour. Maybe
Like a
a
mix
Bloody
of
Mary.
I don't know, lime taste and like cayenne pepper, or I don't know, something like that.
That's where I'm getting a Bloody Mary. Because sometimes you have
Sure.
like the lime on the side and it got
Yeah,
the, yeah,
I like it.
I don't know.
I like
That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so we'll do another fun one. Why not? So, in a universe where money does not exist, but instead people pay for things by making other people laugh, how rich would you consider yourself?
Um, I, I do think that I have a good sense of humor, but am I really a funny person? Probably not. I would be somewhere in the middle.
No?
My sister, I do have a sister that is insanely funny. She would be the rich bitch of the family. My sister Anna is insanely funny. She can make you laugh even when you're crying for something super sad and painful. Yeah, and I should learn from her for sure. Yeah, I like funny. I like fun things, but it does not come really that natural for me to just, you know, say jokes all the
Yeah,
time or like funny all the time. I can be fun, but funny is a little bit different than fun. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, so probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a smile on my face the whole time, so I think you'd be pretty wealthy. I think you'd have a lot of money.
You think you're kind.
Right, so I'll wrap this up one real quick. So
Mhm.
what's next? What's brewing? I know it's a generic question, but it's always nice to
Fine.
know
Thank
what's
you
brewing.
Yeah, thank you for asking. Actually, we just announced our summer run in Europe, which is going to be a very big tour that includes festivals and club shows.
Mhm.
We already announced the majority of our days, but there are going to be more days to come, days that we are still
Ooh.
waiting for confirmation. So that's pretty big for us. We are working on a new album as well that will see the light of the day in the very beginning of next year, hopefully.
All right.
And we are also working on some new music videos. There's going to be some small changes in Infected Rain to the better,
Okay.
to the bigger, to the better, to the funner, if I can say that. I'm inventing words.
I like
Yeah, we are slowly sharing all this news with the world. As I mentioned, we just announced the tour now,
it. Mhm.
today, and we are slowly, I think the month of April is going to be very, very like rich in news and gifts for our
Right.
fans and listeners.
Perfect. All right. So thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview with me today.
Thank you so much.
I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you, around the Eastern United States sometime, hopefully soon.
Oh,
Fingers
yeah,
crossed.
we are definitely trying our best to make it happen sometimes this year, a US tour. We are trying our best.
Perfect. All right. Hopefully I'll stop by. I'll bring my camera. It'll be a nice time. So,
Oh.
do you have anything else to add to the readers for the Metal Pit?
No, not really. Thank you so much for the support. Without the support and the listeners and the involvement of every single person out there that comes across our music, it would have been very difficult to do what we do. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Lena. Have a good
All right.
one. Bye.
Bye.